And the tape goes on with a laugh. Here we are, once again, taping for eternity at God's country place, which is your place, and everywhere that you are, and the certainty that you are as God created you. And through the auspices of the incredible teachings of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, out of body, in eternity, out of time, speaking to you of the certainty that you are in a dream from which he has awakened, and is now including his awakened mind in with your sleeping mind, so that you can see that you are dreaming this dream singularly in your effort to make real the apparent schism of your own mind, and in unison somewhere in time with the discovery that you and your brothers are singular as created by God. So the Course in Miracles is the awakening of you from your dream of death. And we've been reading a series of tapes to indicate the direction of the miracle that your mind is now undergoing in its transformation, in its broadening of your self-identity. Okay. You are evolving from a limited, fearful, perceptual mind consciousness to a wholly creative, fully endowed, purposeful, powerful reality in the declaration that you are as God created you. And that's what the miracle is, isn't it? Each moment, okay, you have sufficiently released your own conflict, your own identity in your own dream as the dreamer of the dream, to find yourself in a whole reconstitution of that association in your own mind. Okay, we're going to get to this in chapter 28, and this I'm going to read a little bit from the hero of the dream, the end of chapter 27. Chapter 28 will deal with the certainty that all time is going on all the time. And in fact, all time was over, okay, and is over each moment. This is a continuation of the readings for those of you who are listening to the sequence of tapes of the Dreamer of the Dream, which we read on, I believe it was February the 6th. That's in the year 1992, or 1992 years after the final resurrection, as we identify it in our historic reference. That is the single man, Jesus, in our frame of reality, transformed as part of our total association, and this world was gone. Okay. We are gone from here, and this is what we were saying as we read yesterday. Now, the admission that that is so is what the second coming is, as Jesus would identify it, saying, obviously, he has entered into a dream association of which you are apparently a part. He has come to show you that in reality he is you, and that when one falsity in time, one man identified, one species, Homo sapien, transformed to the reality of universal consciousness, that was the end of time. Do you see? Yes. There was only one ever real problem, and that was time versus eternity. Now, you can dwell with that in your own time mind if you choose, and reach the conclusion that the solutions you have sought here in your own dream to bring about love, to bring about creative purpose, have been failing you, and that you've been dying, and that the dream that you've made for yourself, if you'll accept that, is no longer tolerable. And that the necessity to change it is a Course in Miracles. And that through that necessity, you have brought into your mind, quite literally, a course then from a later sequence of your reality that will tell you that the only purpose you have here now is to awaken and to remember that you are as God created you. So we read in that other tape about you being the dreamer of the dream. Now we're moving into, we'll find it here. if we can. That you are the hero of the dream, that you are the absolute cause of it. If you can find it. And that you have identified yourself in objective reality and established space in your own mind. You listen. The body, your construct of yourself, is the central figure in the dreaming of the world. There is no dream without it, nor does it exist without the dream in which it acts as if it were a person to be seen and to be believed. Isn't this lovely? Who wrote this? Sometime as your mind gets brighter and brighter, you're actually looking at this and you can really see that it's written by a whole mind. The authority of it is astonishing. Okay. That you're in this little scenario contained within your own apparent objective reality. It acts as if it were a person to be seen and to be believed. It's the central figure, isn't it? Why? It must take the central place in every dream. Yourself, in other words, the you that you think is you. Never mind someone else, finally. You're going to give them an identity eventually, aren't you?
Yes.
But in the meantime, you must be the central figure of any dream that you're having. That doesn't make any difference whether you believe the dream is acting on you or you believe that you are acting on the dream. You will still be the central figure, which tells the story. It takes the central place in every dream, which tells the story of how it was made by other bodies. This is the whole history of man. Born into the world outside the body, lives a little while and dies, to be united in the dust with other bodies dying like itself. Is it fair to say that's a description of the human condition?
Absolutely.
Human beings out there all over this dream of death? Is it fair to say that this whole mind has given you a description of yourself? I think so. And not only that, but you say certainly that's true. What about it? What can I say? Except to remind you that this is your dream. And when you say certainly that's true, it simply means that you're not obviously suffering enough in your own nightmare. That somehow you've figured out an answer within your own dream. And this is what this will say. Okay, it lives a little while and dies, to be united in the dust with other bodies dying like itself. In the brief time allotted it to live, and that doesn't matter how long it is. It could be a moment, it could be 80 years, it could be 1,000 years. It seeks for other bodies as its friends and enemies. Wow. Its safety is its main concern. Its comfort is its guiding rule. It tries to look for pleasure and avoid the things that would be hurtful. Above all, it tries to teach itself its pains and joys are different and can be told apart. And this is exactly what you do with the separate bodies that you have miscreated in your own mind. You teach them to defend yourself. You teach them that the stove will be hot and burn them when they're very young. You teach them not to take candy from a stranger. You teach them to associate in memories that you have about what this dream is, as you have constructed it in your own mind. Now, the dreaming of the world takes many forms because the body seeks in many ways to prove it is autonomous and it's real. It's going to do whatever it can through its own thought forms. It puts things on itself. The body does, puts things on itself. That it is brought with little metal discs or paper strips that its miscreated world proclaims as valuable and real. And it works to get them doing totally senseless things and tosses them away for senseless things it does not need and does not even want. It hires other bodies that they may protect it and collect more senseless things that it can call its own. And it looks about for special bodies in its own dream that it has constructed in its mind that can share its dreams. And sometimes it dreams it is a conqueror of bodies weaker than itself. But in some phases of the dream, it is the slave of bodies that would hurt it and would torture it. And it lives in that cyclical arrangement within its own mind. The body's serial adventures continually going on from the time of birth to dying is the theme of every dream the world has ever had. It is a theme of every dream the world has ever had. Regardless of where it is in the dream, that is the central figure as the world dreams itself. The hero of this dream will never change, nor will its purpose. The hero of this dream is you. No matter how you constitute yourself in the dream, you are the hero of it. You have constructed in your own mind to correspond to your self-identity, and it will never change, nor will its purpose change, because it's designed to keep you in the conflictual association of your own mind. Though the dream itself takes many forms and seems to show a great variety of places and events wherein its hero finds itself and can present itself as a glorious overcomer of the evil things that are outside of it, and share the lovely passion that it feels in its determination to declare sickness and death within its own mind. Okay? The dream has but one purpose that is being taught in an infinite number of ways. Here it is. This single lesson does this split mind, the body, try to teach again and still again and still again and still again. What is it? That it is cause and not effect. All of the things outside of you in your own dream are telling you that they are the cause of you. You let your body tell you that it is the cause of you. You want to look at the insanity of what you're saying? The body now can determine what you are for you. All of the other bodies that you've constructed apparently outside of you will also confirm and determine. Now, we're going to get to that if you are the dreamer of the dream, you are the cause of them. But you are being taught in this dream that they are the cause of you, that you came into this world and found it here, and that all the things that are going on will influence you and attack you or make you happy or cause you pain. And that's what you've been doing over and over again, isn't it? Okay? That it is the cause and not the effect, and that you, in your own mind, are its effect and cannot be its cause. That the earth, you actually believe that the earth can have an effect on you. There's no sense in saying that you don't, because you do. Everything that you see in your own dream authenticates the fact of objective reality. That all of these objects are really real outside of you. That a boulder can actually fall on your head. That you must protect yourself from other associations in your own mind that are attacking you. Well, thus you are not the dreamer, but the dream. You're actually caught in the dream. Ooh. And so you wander idly in and out of places and events that it contrives for you and over which you must defend yourself or share for a moment in. Wow. That this is all the body does is true, for it is but a figure in a dream. But who reacts to figures in a dream unless he sees them as if they were real? Obviously, that's what you have done. Here's the transformation. The instant that he sees them as they are, they have no more effect on him, because he understands he gave them their effects by causing them and making them seem real, because he wanted them to be real to keep his own identity. Wow. How willing are you to escape effects of all the dreams that the world has ever had? That all the world has ever had. You, individually, can escape all the dreams that all of the history of man has ever had. Is it your wish to let no dream appear to be the cause of what it is you do? Then let us merely look upon the dream's beginning. For the part you see is but the second part, whose cause lies in the first. You had to have an initial dream, okay, that something outside of yourself could actually affect you. That just for a moment there would be something separate from the wholeness of your own mind. No one asleep and dreaming in the world remembers his initial attack upon himself. No one believes there really was a time when he knew nothing of a body and could never have conceived the world as being real. He would have seen at once that these ideas are one illusion and they're absolutely too ridiculous for anything but to be laughed away. But how serious they now appear to be. Huh? And no one can remember when they would have been met with laughter and with total disbelief. You can remember this if you want to. We but must look directly at their cause. There's no sense in hiding any longer for what has been causing our fear. And we will see the grounds for laughter, the ridiculousness that you could actually get sick and die if you are universal mind and as God created you. And that there's absolutely no cause for you to be fearful at all, nor was there any cause. Let us return the dream he gave away unto the dreamer, who perceives the dream as separate from himself and done to him. Into eternity, where all is one, there crept a tiny, crazy idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. Okay? He remembered not to laugh. He remembered not to laugh. In his forgetting, did the thought become a serious idea and possible of both accomplishments and real effects. Together, we can laugh them both away and understand that time cannot intrude upon eternity. And it's a joke to think that time can come to circumvent eternity, which means that there is no time, and that's what eternity is. Actually, we're sharing that single disastrous moment together right now and laughing at it. It's interesting that it really doesn't matter how you construct this scenario in your own mind. It's very possible that you will want to view it as a mistake, a break in communication, something that happened to you for just a moment, a bump on the head, okay, going east of Eden, being lost in the horse latitudes. I'm not interested in what. Finally, the certainty must be that there is one universal mind, and you apparently lost communication with it. Obviously, that would be impossible in reality. This is the whole idea of all the lovely so-called science fiction that you read, that the Earth and this section of the galaxy is a penal colony. And because of your irresponsibility, you have been put in it. It's the same idea that you have reached an advanced enough stage now in your own conflictual minds where you are in enough harmony to be allowed to enter into the galactic society, that you are evolving back into this truth through the release of your own attack on yourself. Wow. Okay. It is a joke to think that time can come to circumvent eternity, which means there is no time. That should not be a paragraph there. A timelessness in which time is made real. A part of God that can attack itself. A separate brother is an enemy. A mind within a body. All are forms of circulatory meanings where ending starts at its beginning, ending at its cause. It just keeps circling back on itself. Now, the world you see depicts exactly what you thought that you did and have projected outside of yourself. And it's now coming back to you somewhere in your own time associations. except that now you think that what you did is being done to you. This is what objective reality is, isn't it? The guilt for what you thought is being placed outside yourself and on a guilty world that dreams your dreams and thinks your thoughts instead of you. Wow. It brings its vengeance, not your own. It keeps you narrowly confined within a body which it punishes because of all the sinful things the body does within its own dream. You have no power to make the body stop its evil deeds because you did not make it and cannot control its actions, nor its purpose, nor its fate, nor in fact anything that's happening. You're absolutely at the mercy of all the things that are around you. This is the fundamental teachings of a whole mind, Jesus Christ, in the Course in Miracles. The certainty of subjective reality. That there is no such thing as anything outside of your own mind that could possibly cause you travail or sickness or death. The world but demonstrates a very, very old truth. You will believe that others do to you exactly what you think you did to them. Past tense. But once deluded into blaming them, you will not see the cause of what they do because you want the guilt to rest on them. How childish is the petulant device to keep your innocence by pushing guilt outside yourself, but never letting it go, keeping it in your own mind so that you can play off of it, so you can give yourself an identity with it. It's not easy to perceive this jest when all around you do your eyes behold its heavy consequences, but without their trifling cause. You're letting the consequences of that horrible thought affect you. It's like you're in a nightmare, isn't it? Yes. And all of these things keeps charging in on you. Okay? This is the teachings of Jesus now. As long as you defend yourself from them or attack them in your own association, you cannot see that you are the dreamer of the dream. Do you see? This is the Sermon on the Mount, isn't it? This is resist not evil. Let go of it. Don't give this world a reality. That your kingdom is not of this world. That you are in the land of Nod, as Genesis says. That you're east of Eden, that none of this is true. And it is their cause that follows nothing and is but a jest. Without the cause, do its effects seem serious and sad indeed. Yet they but follow. And it is their cause that follows nothing and is but a jest because none of it is real. In gentle laughter does the Holy Spirit, that is you waiting for yourself in aggregate at the end of time, perceive the cause and look not to the effects. You see, it's arrived at an inclusion of all of these perceptual thought forms in your mind. How else could he correct your error who have overlooked the cause entirely? He bids you bring such terrible effects to him that you may look together on its foolish cause and laugh with him for just a little while. You judge effects because they're in your mind, but a whole mind, your own whole mind, this mind, has judged their cause. And by his judgment are the effects removed. Okay? This is how you change your mind. Perhaps you come in tears, but hear him say, my brother, Holy Son of God, behold your idle dream in which this could occur. And you will leave the holy instant with your laughter and your brother's joined with his. And dead. And that was the holy instant of resurrection. And the earth was no more. And time was gone. Okay? The secret of salvation is but this. Ready? You are doing this unto yourself. No matter what the form of the attack, this is going to be true. Whoever takes the role of the enemy and of attacker, still is this the truth. Ready? Whatever seems to be the cause of any pain and suffering that you feel, this is still going to be true. For you could not react at all to figures in a dream you knew that you were dreaming. Okay? Let them be as hateful and as vicious or as loving or as desirable as they may be, they could have no effect on you unless you fail to recognize that it is your dream. Okay? That you are your own effects. Oh, this is a lovely salvation idea, isn't it? Huh? The problem is you, the solution is you. Now, this single lesson learned will set you free from suffering no matter what form it takes. How could it not? Now, all we really do in your dream, all a whole mind does, all you will do with your brothers is will repeat this one inclusive lesson of deliverance until it has been learned, regardless of the form of suffering that brings you pain. Whatever hurt you bring to him, he will make answer with this very simple, single truth. You are doing this to yourself. Cut it out. You are inflicting pain on yourself in your own dream and determined to make it real to keep your identity. For this one answer takes away the cause of every form of sorrow and of pain. Don't you see? The form affects his answer not at all. I don't care what you bring me in this dream of yours. I'm telling you it's not real. And you have constructed it in sickness, power, pain, and death in your own mind. The form affects his answer not at all. For he would teach you but the single cause of all of them, no matter what their form, and you will understand the miracles reflect the simple statement, I have done this thing, and it is this that I will undo, and I will undo it each moment by not giving a separate identity of the pain that is apparently outside of myself. By not reacting to it, it will change my mind in association with myself. Do you have this, those of you who are doing the workbook of the Course in Miracles? Yes. Okay, the miracle is nothing but your reassociation in your own dream of how you want to look at yourself. And it's happening each moment. Yes. Bring then all forms of suffering to him who knows that everyone is exactly like the rest. He sees no difference where none exists, and he'll teach you how each one is caused. None has a different cause from all the rest, and all of them are just as easily undone by but a single lesson truly learned. Okay? There are no degrees to miracles, because the sickness and pain in the world are literally not real, and salvation is a secret that you are kept but from yourself. Everything else in the universe is saved except you if you're in your dream of death. Okay? And the universe proclaims it so. Yet to its witnesses you don't pay any attention. All around you in each moment, and every conflictual idea you have about yourself is a total witness to the truth of you somewhere in time that you're as God created you. Yes. It's impossible that that not be so. Yet to its witnesses you don't pay any attention, for they attest the thing you don't want to know. You don't really want to know that you're absolutely whole as God has created you. Okay? They seem to keep it secret from you, yet you need but learn, you choose but not to listen nor to see. The eyes, the ears, okay, the sounds heard by an objective mind are designed, okay, not to hear the message of the truth of God. That's why you need the transformation, don't you? Yes. And Jesus would say, you are actually blind, deaf, and dumb in a dream constructed by yourself and are not communicating with anything except your own thought form somewhere in time. Wow. How differently will you perceive the world when this is recognized? Wow. When you forgive the world your guilt, you'll be free of it. Its innocence does not demand your guilt, nor does your guiltlessness rest on its sin. There's no sense in trying to combat sin. You are not guilty of anything no matter how you measure it. Why? This never happened. Okay. You see, if this really happened, obviously you're going to be guilty. It never did. This is the obvious. A secret kept from no one but yourself. And it is this that has maintained you separate from the world and kept your brother separate from you. Now needs you but to learn that both of you are either totally innocent or guilty. The one thing that is impossible is that you be unlike each other, because each of you has created the other one in his own mind, yet each of you is the only mind that there is. Each of you is singular. And that they both be true. This is the only secret yet to learn, and it will be no secret that you are healed. Why? You're the cause of this in your own dream. That mind is singular. Wow. How very reasonable that is beginning to appear to you now, isn't it? That you are actually in this dream. Many of you have known that there's a dream quality to this reality. Okay, and you've looked at the objective universe in your limited construction, and you've looked out and seen a million stars, or 1,000 million stars, and 10,000 million galaxies, and 100 trillion light years, and you've tried to measure yourself in your own limitation against the whole mind that is all around you. And finally, you've reached a conclusion somewhere in time of the futility of the human perceptual mind in the identification of the association of itself in a body. Yes. The reason that you're with me now in this whole mind is you've demanded an answer to your existence in your own mind, okay, and are no longer satisfied with the idea that your life must end in a pitiful death association, that you must get cancer, that you must lose the things that you love. Somewhere that has become intolerable to you. Now you gather with the other associations that you share in your own dream, who have also discovered that you're in a madhouse, that you're in a crazy place, that you're dreaming a dream of death that lasted but for a moment. Okay. And now you're going to experience the undoing of your own fear in your own mind. Okay. It will be undone. You will undo it because you're the one that was doing it. Okay? And it is undone. Okay? In that sense, obviously the miracle doesn't do anything, does it? The miracle, which is God creating, is obviously going on around you all the time. This is the chapter 28, incidentally, the undoing of fear, or coming into the present memory of your own divine association with God. The miracle does nothing. All it does is undo. What does it do? It cancels out the interference to what has been done. You're interfering with your own reality that happened to you at the moment that you thought that you were sick and dying. Okay, you have created a lot of interference in your own perceptual mind about this atonement, about this coming back and being with God. In fact, all of your self-construction is an interference that the miracle cancels out as you reassociate in your own mind. It does not add, but it merely takes away. Yeah. And what it takes away is long since gone, but being kept in memory appears to have immediate effects. This is the whole idea of the workbook, that you're bringing together all of your own karma, aren't you? All of your own memories that are in your mind, okay, that are already gone, and you're using them as the cause of you, and giving them an effects in the present state that you find yourself. Are you ready? This world was over long ago. Some of you like to hear this?
Yes.
And to some of you this is disturbing. Okay? If you want to start with the premise that you are only memory, it might help you get to this world is over long ago. Isn't it so? When you came into this room and sat down with me, you were obviously just a memory of all the previous things that had happened to you in your own mind. The most that you could say about them is that they're gone. If they are gone, then all of the thoughts that you are having about them in relation to you in the future idea must also be gone. All right? Now, this world was over long ago. It really doesn't matter how long it was over as long as it's over. Just as it really doesn't matter how soon you get this, as long as you understand that they have come to tell you now. What difference does it make how long you've been in the sickness and the death? The thoughts that make it, that made it, are no longer in the mind that thought of them and loved them for a little while. The miracle but shows that the past is gone, and what has truly gone cannot possibly have any effects. Remembering a cause, trying to put it back together, remembering it after it's gone, can but produce illusions of its presence, not effects. Yeah. So that everything that's happening to you is really having no effects at all because the cause of it is gone. Do you see? Wow. So we're going to do what? Reverse cause and effect, aren't we? All the effects of guilt are here no more, for guilt is over. The idea that you made yourself. Okay, it's all gone. Okay. In its passing went its consequences, left without a cause. They couldn't be here because nothing caused them in the first place. Why would you cling to it in memory if you didn't desire its effects? Obviously, you still want it to be true. Remembering is as selective as perception, being its past tense. You want to remember this and select the part of it that you want to keep your own identity and reject the rest of it. So you bring that grievance of thought with you into your present condition. Wow. It is perception of the past as if it were occurring now and still were there for you to see. Oh my. Memory, like perception, is a skill made up by you to take the place of what God gave in your creation. And like all the things you make, it can be used to serve another purpose since it's in your mind, and to be the means for something else if you want it to be. Okay? It can be used to heal and not to hurt if you so wish it to be. Nothing employed for healing represents an effort to do anything at all. Every time you try to do something in your own past association, you limit and restrict and deny the natural healing process that you are whole as God created you. Every time that you do it. Come on, miracle workers. Every time that you give pain and identity in your own mind, you have denied the miracle. And now your mind needs an undoing of its own association with itself, doesn't it?
Yes.
Nothing employed for healing, to make whole, represents an effort to do anything at all. To do anything. It is a recognition that you have no needs, which mean that something must be done. Okay? The recognition that you are perfect as God created you must change the effects of your own mind, which you have designed to be a part of the doing of your body in your own determination to stay sick and to die. Okay, what is this healing process? It's an unselective memory that is not used to interfere with the truth. It's a definition of the Holy Spirit. It's all the memory that the world has ever had, transformed in time to a moment of your union with God. And as you take all of your so-called selective memories that have held you in the bondage of the sequencing of time or cause and effect, they will be brought to a glorious union through the Spirit of the Christ in you, through the Spirit of your own whole mind, won't they? And that's the miracle that's going on each moment. All things that the Spirit can employ for healing have been given him, without the content and the purposes for which they were made. Obviously, the whole perceptual mind was made in thought forms to stay autonomous, to be separate from God. So all of them, those forms have to be brought to the whole mind to be recognized as products of the limited mind, so that the conflict can disappear in that mind that has chosen to be separate from God. Okay? They are but skills without an application. They're totally skillful each moment because they see no conflict in the thoughts within your own mind at the end of time. Okay? They await their use. Okay? They have no dedication and they have no aim. They are wholly going on all the time. Okay? The Holy Spirit is literally the loss of objective reality, or the distance between cause and effect. the whole certainty of a whole mind is that cause and effect are the same thing, isn't it? That's God creating. The Holy Spirit is nothing but the taking of apparent sequential perceptual time and bringing it for just a moment together in a congruitive reality that doesn't have any conflict. Okay, that then is the moment in time, and the only moment in time when you remembered that you were whole, because that's the moment when you forgot.
Yes.
And that's what you brought together now in your own mind.
Yes.
The Spirit can indeed make use of memory, for God himself is there, because God is everywhere. And he's in that memory of that terrible thought that you had about yourself, you see. Yet this is not a memory of past events, but only of a present state. Why? There is only a present state.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
What is this present state? The moment when you forgot God.
Yes. Yes.
That's what this present state is, that you're now remembering.
Yes.
Yet this is not a memory of past events, but only of a present state. But you are so long accustomed to believe that memory holds only what is past that it is hard for you to realize it is a skill that can literally remember now. And if it doesn't defend itself and cause a conflict of its own association with its past thoughts, it will remember now. Why? This is the only thing there is to remember.
Yes.
This, right now,
Yes.
in your dream, as you are, here is really all that you need remember.
Yes.
Why? It's all there is.
Yes.
Oh my, what a miracle, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
The limitations on remembering, and remember, we're giving remembering a moment's reality. Okay? Your mind is so split up in its various thought form members that it must be remembered. Okay? It has to be put totally back together in association with itself.
Yes.
By remembering that each thought is the whole in your own mind and not separate thoughts of your past association. Okay? The limitations on remembering that the world imposes on it are as vast as those that you let the world impose on you, because they are a simple declaration of the conflict of objective reality. Listen to this sentence. There is no link of memory to the past.
Wow. Wow.
Got it? Some of you can hear that. There is no link of memory to the past. All memory is going on right now in your own dream. And you brought it together. You brought all of this old past associations, all the future ones that were going to happen in your sequential time, and you're remembering them all at one time. Huh? Do you see this?
Yes.
You really can only have one thought at a time, right?
Yes.
Can we get you to look at that? So the more inclusive that thought is, the happier and more creative you will be, because you haven't rejected anything from your own mind.
Okay.
Since you are the product of what you think is your own mind outside of yourself, when you stop identifying it, you'll spring into heaven.
Yes.
You'll become whole, won't you? Why? There is no link of memory to the past. If you would have it there, then there it is.
Yeah.
You can remember it if you want to, but you can't make it real because it's gone.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But remember that only your desire made the link, and only you have held it to a part of time where self-identity, where guilt, where the need to make yourself appears to linger still but is actually gone. Now the Spirit's use of memory is actually apart from time, which is the sequencing of the thought. He does not seek to use it as a means to keep the past, but rather as a way to let go of it.
Yes.
This is the whole teaching of forgive your brother. Let go of your past associations in your memory that are causing the grievance of sickness and death in your own mind. Okay? Now, why? Memories hold the message that they receive, and memories do what it is given them to do.
Yes.
Okay? They cannot not do that. The memory does not write the message nor appoint what it is for. The memory is nothing but an accumulation of body thoughts. Okay? But the thoughts are given them by the mind who wants to dictate the terms of its own identity. In fact, this is a good definition of the body. Body is held together by previous memories of the disassociation, and the necessity to keep that disassociation in some sort of memory form. Like to the body, the memory, it is purposeless within itself. It is purposeless within itself because every memory is false. All of the memories that it have are but reflections of its own false memory. Okay, and if it seems to serve to cherish an ancient hate and gives you pictures of injustices and hurts that you were saving, this is what you ask its message be, and this is what you will experience. The whole idea of human establishment, isn't it? Of culture, of races of men, of civilizations, are the need for you to hold this grievance in your mind. Committed to its vaults, the history of all the bodies past is hidden there. All of the strange associations made to keep the past alive and the present dead are stored within it. Do you understand the present dead? Could you get that? That you're dead each moment that you're here?
Yes.
Huh? If you keep the past alive, the present must be dead.
Yes.
Because it's based on the past, and the past is dead.
Yes.
Everybody got that?
Yes.
This is the same idea Jesus, and when Jesus says in the New Testament, he says, do not look for the living among the dead. What he says is, don't look for a present frame of reference in the past dead association. It's not there.
Really?
Yeah? Do you see that?
Yes.
That it's gone away. All of the strange associations made to keep the past alive and the present dead. Let's take a quick look at it. I know objective mind has the idea that the body dies, and at the time of resurrection, all of those dead bodies are going to rise up. I'm going to give you what death is. Death is this body that you find yourself in. Why? Because it's nothing but memories that are already gone.
Yes.
At no single moment does the body really exist at all.
Right.
In that sense, it is literally dead. You understand?
Yes.
Now I am going to work the miracle of raising the dead. See how simple it is? By not giving that body an identification of my previous dead experiences, it raises up in my mind in the glory of the certainship of my saviorship. Is everybody kind of with me on this? Now, as I go around in my mind as the Savior of the world, I raise the dead by not giving it my previous dead associations that have nothing to do with God at all. Isn't that fun? We're raising the dead here. So really all that happens is that the dead, being a limited association of the mind, in a single flash, in a single moment, are transformed into the bright reality of God. What does Paul say in Corinthians in that lovely sentence? Behold, I tell you a mystery.
Yes.
In a moment the body will be totally changed to the bright light. That's what he's trying to describe as an initiate, which Paul was. Paul had the Damascus experience, didn't he?
Yes.
And when he attempts to define this, he'll slip into these mystical associations. Everybody ignores that part of Paul and reminds everybody that Paul said that ladies should sit in the back of the church and keep their hats on. They like to identify with the Saul part of Paul, but just as they like to identify with the Saul part of you. When you declare your own Paul reality, your own total Damascus experience, they don't hear you but hold you in the bondage of their previous dead associations with themselves. Notice how you like to associate with the new bright self you find now in your own time? That's your God's country place. That's a need for you now in your own re-identity to have the healing experience of the now, of remembering the now together as the time when you stepped out of time to eternity. Wow. All of the strange associations made to keep the past alive and the present dead are stored within your genetic memory. See? waiting your command that they be brought to you and live again. And they can be projected from your own mind and give you back a reflection within your own dream. And thus do their effects appear to be increased by time, which took away their cause. And now you're nothing but a big bundle of effects of illusion. Okay? And the effects increase more and more. Why? You store them in computers. You actually store gigantic computers of thought forms that you can call on to keep your limited identity with yourself. Oh my goodness sake. But remember that time itself is but another phase of what does nothing at all. Neither side of time is really real. There is no beginning and end. It works hand in hand with all the other attributes with which you seek to keep concealed the truth about yourself. Okay? You invent time to keep your thoughts apart. You invent time to keep your thoughts apart, which then becomes space. One thought out there that is separate from you. A distance between your own thoughts. Okay? Isn't that something? It works hand in hand with all the other attributes of your own mind with which you seek to keep concealed the truth that's actually you. Time neither takes away nor can it restore. How could it? It doesn't pass. Oh, time is passing and taking things away from me. And I can find them later on. Time does not pass. Time neither takes away nor can restore, and yet you make real strange use of it as if the past had caused the present. And that's crazy when you really look at it. What would the past have to do with the present? So you sequence time in your own mind and really are dead at that moment, isn't it? Well, you're not really there at all. And yet you make strange use of it as if the past had caused the present, which is but a consequence in which no change can be made possible because its cause is gone. There's nothing really more frustrating to the perceptual human mind that believes that it is being caused by its past association and can't go back and change it. That it's condemned to get old and sick and die by a single mistake that it made 30 years ago. It's a terrible way to look at life. Okay? That the time is actually sequencing. Okay? Which it is but a consequence in which no change can be made possible because its cause is gone and it's caught with what it did. And it might just as well resign itself. It can't change itself now. Boy, what a condition. Yet change must have a cause that will endure or else it won't last. Okay? No change can be made in the present if its cause is past. And darn you minds that keep basing yourself and trying to change yourself based on your past references are really illusions of nothing. Because all of the thoughts that you are having are already past and are associated with your own past self. Okay. Only the past is held in memory as you make use of it. And so it is a way to hold the past against the now. To hold on to the grievance, not to see the glory of you that's all around you now. To defend yourself by your past associations against the love of God that's going on all around you. Wow. Remember absolutely nothing that you have taught yourself, for you were badly taught. And who would keep a senseless lesson in his mind when he can learn and can preserve a better one? Wow. When ancient memories of hate appear, remember that their cause is gone. Whenever ancient memories of hate appear, remember that their cause is gone. And so you cannot understand what they are for. You keep trying to put together in judgment. You call this human judgment. You keep trying to put together in your mind all the causes that are already gone and judge them in the association of your now. Wow. And so you cannot understand what they're for. Let not the cause that you would give them now be what it was that made them what they were,
Yes.
or better, what they seem to be. Be glad that it is gone, for this is what you would be pardoned from.
Yes.
Okay, and it's already gone. And see instead the new effects of cause accepted now with consequences here. You can do it right now. And they will surprise you with their loveliness. Okay, this is the holy instant. This is the transformation of your mind, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, this is the new vistas that are opening up in your perceptual mind as you don't hold on to your own death form association. Listen, the ancient new ideas they bring will be the happy consequences of a cause so ancient that it far exceeds the span of memory which your perception sees. It's the original great thought of joy and happiness that you were never separated.
Yes.
I like this sentence right here. The ancient new ideas.
Yes.
They seem to be you, but actually they're all of the all accumulation of all of the whole ideas of joy and loveliness when you realized instantly that you really weren't sick and dying.
Yes,
You see?
yes,
Can you get that?
yes.
The reason that many of you, I might as well tell you this, I've said it before, associate death with happiness is because at the time of your physical death, many of you experience that joyous moment.
Yes,
Can you see that?
yes,
Since you have held together, you might as well hear this.
yes,
You are dependent on physical death. You are holding together the memory of your body and getting older and older with it. But it's going to fall apart, isn't it? What happens when it finally falls apart, it uses up all of its own memories that are
Yes.
really dead. It has a moment of revelation
yes.
when all of the forms that held it together spring up in a bright light. Those of you who have been with a consciousness experiencing the throes of Gabriel's horn, that is, the bright light that comes about them as they have a death sequence experience, can understand well what I'm saying. And many of those who are revived from apparent life-death associations will recall the glory of that moment when they see Jesus and they see all of their friends. And we want to give them that moment in time. And we want to bring about that moment now,
Yes.
so that they can see that they can undergo a conversion of their own mind directly to the death experience, followed instantaneously by the whole bright identity, and change the thought forms of their own mind.
Yes.
Yes,
This is the resurrection.
Yes.
yes,
You see? Not only can they do it, but as Jesus says in his resurrection message, can then make another whole appearance in a whole new body somewhere in time. What a lovely mystical step, huh? And it makes me like to read onto this tape the message that Jesus gives to Helen, okay, the scribe, Helen Schuckman, who scribed the course, when she asked about the physical resurrection. What I'm reading here is what Jesus actually describes in the physical resurrection. In fact, I think I'll read it as part of this tape. And it will help you see that actually in time you are undergoing a whole resurrection of your body each moment.
yes,
Okay?
Yes.
This is why we teach physical resurrection, do you
Yes.
see? That the dead will rise up and be healed and are being healed each moment. Wow. Wow. Remember nothing that you taught yourself, for you were badly taught. And the ancient new ideas they bring will be the happy consequences of a cause so ancient that it far exceeds the span of memory which your perception sees. This is the cause the Spirit has remembered for you when you would forget. It is not past because he let it not be unremembered. It has never changed because there never was a time in which he did not keep it safely in your mind. Its consequences will indeed seem new because you thought that you remembered not their cause, but you really did. Yet was it never absent from your mind, for it was not your Father's will that he be unremembered by his Son.
yes,
Key sentence. what you remember never was.
Yes.
It came from causelessness, which you confused with cause. It can deserve but laughter when you learn you have remembered consequences that were causeless and could have no effects and were never real. The miracle reminds you of a cause forever present that's going on right now, the holy instant,
Yes.
perfectly untouched by time and interference, never changed from what it is, and you are its effects, as changeless and perfect as itself. Its memory does not lie in the past nor wait the future. It is not revealed in miracles. They but remind you that it will no longer be denied.
Yes.
It's always present with you all the time. You who have sought to lay a judgment on your own Creator cannot understand it is not He who laid a judgment on His Son. You would deny Him His effects, yet had they never been denied, there was no time in which His Son could be condemned for what was causeless and against His will. What you are remembering would witness is but the fear of God. He has not done this thing that you fear. No more have you done it to Him. And so your innocence has not been lost. You don't need healing to be healed. You are healed. In quietness, see in the miracle a lesson in allowing cause to have its own effects and not what you think yours are, and doing nothing that would interfere with it, and you'll spring up and remember that you're in heaven. The miracle comes quietly into the mind that stops an instant and is still. It reaches gently from that quiet time, and from the mind it healed in quiet then to other minds to share its quietness. And so they will join in doing nothing to prevent its radiant extension back into the mind which caused all minds to be. See how it reflects? You're getting a reflection now of your own home life. Born out of sharing, born out of forgiving, born out of giving. There can be no pause in time to cause the miracle delay in hastening to all unquiet minds, all flapping perceptual minds, and bringing them an instant stillness where the memory of God returns to them. Their own remembering is quiet now, and what has come to take its place will not be wholly unremembered afterwards. And each time you remember it, you convert more and more of your own karma, more and more of your own ancient hate thoughts into the glorious remembering of that instant when for just a moment you thought that you were separate. And now you laugh it away and you spring joyously into heaven. He to whom time is given offers thanks for every quiet instant given him. For he knows that instant is God's memory allowed to offer all its treasures to the Son of God for whom they have been saved. How gladly does he offer them unto the one for whom he has been given them, and his Creator shares his thanks because he would not be deprived of his own effects, of his own creation.
Yes.
The instant silence that his Son accepts gives welcome to eternity and to him, and lets them enter where they would abide, and they come together. For in that instant does the Son of God do nothing that would make himself afraid. And in that instant is he whole and perfect as he has always been. How instantly the memory of God arises in the mind that has no fear to keep the memory away. Don't be afraid. Its own remembering has gone. It simply disappeared. There is no past to keep its fearful image in the way of glad awakening to its present peace. It doesn't try to deal with its own conflicts. It doesn't give reality to the earth, to the sickness and pain and death and chaos and hatred and loss that it formerly had in its own, what it thought was an autonomous salvation association. What happens? The trumpets of eternity resound throughout the stillness, yet don't disturb it at all, because you hear that lovely trumpet in your own mind. And what is now remembered is not fear, but rather is the cause that fear was made to render unremembered and undone. And the stillness speaks in gentle sounds of love the Son of God remembers from before his own remembering came to get in the way between the present and the past and to shut them out and not let them come together. Now is the Son of God at last aware of a present cause going on now and its absolutely benign effects. He doesn't attack himself. Now does he understand what he has made is absolutely causeless and is having no effects at all. Why? He's done nothing. He has absolutely nothing. The world was never real.
Yes.
What's he doing? He's waking up from his dream, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay? And in seeing this, he understands he never had a need for doing anything and never did.
Yes. Yes.
He never had a need for doing anything and therefore never did anything. Not that he had a need to do something that is not now gone. Not that he needed to be separate in order to come home. Not that he needed an identity that he was separate. He understands he never had a need for doing anything and never did. Why? His cause is its effects.
Yes.
There never was a cause beside it that could generate a different past or a different future. Its effects are changelessly eternal, beyond fear, and past the world of sin entirely. What has been lost to see the causeless not? Okay, what can you lose by seeing something that never was real in the first place? And where is sacrifice? That you're actually giving up something when memory of God has come to take the place of loss and death.
Yes.
What better way to close the little gap between illusions and reality than to allow the memory of God to flow right across it, making it a bridge, okay? Making it a bridge, an instant will suffice to reach beyond. And each time you forgive your brother, and each time you let go of the necessity to defend yourself, you actually flow through your own perceptions to eternity. And that's the bridge. For God has closed it with himself. Okay, his memory has not gone by and left a stranded son forever on a shore where he can catch glimpses of another shore that he could never reach. And this is what I could never stand. This is what you can't stand. In your minds, in this time you found yourself was a memory of perfect love and of God. Yet you were being told by your own memory thoughts that you could never get there.
Yes.
You were being told that there were things that you had to do in order to get there.
Yes.
You were being told that you had to overcome terrible things that were designed to keep you from getting there. Wow, no wonder you were in pain and sickness. Why? You've discovered that all of those things were only in your own mind. And it was your dream of death that was keeping you from seeing that that bridge was always right with you, isn't it?
Yes.
That's a bridge out of time to eternity, incidentally.
Yes.
That bridge that we're reading about. His memory has not gone by and left a stranded son forever on a shore where he can glimpse another shore that he can never reach. His Father wills that he be lifted up and gently carried over. He has built the bridge, and it is he who will transport his son across.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
This is the same idea that they have come.
Yes.
All of the thought forms that you have designed originally in your own evil memory, separate memory to keep you separate, are now marshaled to show you in the bright reality of you that you can cross safely across this bridge. And God obviously is there because he's everywhere, right? And he's in this bright reunion with your own mind. Have no fear that he will fail in what he wills for his son, nor that you will be excluded from the will that is for you and was designed explicitly for you in your own dream of death. And this is going on all the time, isn't it? And you can actually see that now in your own dream. Let's look at it, how intense we really are with this. Okay? This is a declaration that objective reality, where you are, is actually being resurrected each moment in a quantum leap in a total reassociation of your mind, in a resurrection of your mind, at the dedication of your mind not to let the body be real. And this is what the message of Jesus Christ is and has always been. That if I don't resist the evil associations outside of myself, if I don't lay up the stores that have imprisoned me through the possession of my own conflictual mind, that I will remember that my kingdom is not of this world.
Yes.
Okay? And I will not longer participate in serving my own hateful thoughts. I have discovered that I cannot do both. If I am as God created me, I cannot have created myself. And the creations of myself are only memories of my own mind, which I can bring through my own whole mind into remembrance that I am God as God created me. Making the connection between this quantum leap, this stepping from objective time to eternal reality, the movement from the particle form to the certainty of the wave of energy, is much the same as saying that a unified force field is what the Holy Spirit is. And there's lots of different ways to express this in philosophical temporal associations. But this is A Course in Miracles by the resurrected objective man, Jesus Christ, in your historic frame of reference.
Yes.
Returning in that sense to you, because you're ready to hear this, in your own mind, and declaring to you that he is resurrected and that so are you, and that he has always been with you in this single memory that you had together, both of the atonement of principle, which is at the beginning of time, and the actual resurrection of the man Jesus in your own mind.
Yes.
And this is the fun part about A Course in Miracles.
Yes.
So that perhaps we can read this now for you, that historic Jesus is this Jesus in the Course in Miracles. And perhaps this is a step in faith. Perhaps it is a step in faith to say, wow, I'd certainly like to believe that A Course in Miracles is coming from the mind of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And I guess that would take a little faith. But those of you who have professed Christianity have had an awful lot of faith in a memory association that's 2,000 years old, has been translated into 4 separate languages, is a hearsay at best, and still retains all of the memory of the whole Jesus Christ that you will allow it to. Remember that you, as you are conceived in your own perceptual mind, must be a denial of the resurrection.
Oh, my.
So here we are in that physical sense, but when this physical mind of Helen, split mind, who is scribing, that is, allowing this message to be brought into this chaotic association, she asks somewhere in time, specifically, if the resurrection was physical, okay? Did it actually happen to your body? And I'm going to read for all of the world the response of the Jesus mind, okay? Not only as it is happening now and did happen 2,000 years ago, but as it actually is brought into your attention of yourself in your own dream. Jesus, was there really a physical resurrection? Jesus. My body disappeared because I had no illusions about it. This is exactly what I just read you.
Yes.
This is exactly. He did not have any illusions from his past reference as a man.
Yes.
Do you see? The last one had gone. Okay. I was laid in the tomb, but there was nothing left to bury. Now, that, and I'm going to try to give you this step. The association in the limited thought forms could very well have seen the body that they were laying in the tomb. But in the whole mind of their association with the resurrection of Jesus, it actually disappeared, as did they. Okay.
Oh, yes, yes.
I was laid in the tomb, but there was nothing left to bury. It, the body, did not and does not disintegrate, because the unreal cannot die. Okay? The body was never there in the first place. The resurrection, then, is the remembering of that. It merely became what it always was, which was what? Nothing. Got it?
Wow, yes.
And that is what rolling the stone away means. That the body is a vault, okay, where all of the perceptual memories are kept and buried in your own perceptual. This is the whole idea of the crucifixion and resurrection. All right? This is what rolling the stone away means. The body disappears and no longer hides what lies beyond. It's not held in the constriction of its own thought forms, okay? It merely ceases to interfere with vision, okay?
Yes.
To roll the stone away is to see beyond the tomb, beyond death, and to understand the body's nothingness.
Yes.
What is understood as nothing must disappear, and will, and does, and did. Now, here's some lovely stuff. I did assume a human form with human attributes afterwards. Okay? This is the return of the whole physical body of Jesus. To speak to those who were to prove to the universal mind, to the rest of the split mind, the body's worthlessness to the world.
Wow.
To see that all Jesus ever taught was that the world was not real. To establish, if necessary, a church, okay, where the church, which is the denial or the establishment of man, okay, that in fact the body identification they had was not real, as demonstrated by the resurrection of Jesus. To prove the body's worthlessness to the world. This has been much misunderstood. I came to tell them that death is an illusion, and the mind that made the body can make another, since form itself is an illusion.
Yes.
When Jesus appeared to the disciples behind closed doors, he appears as a real solid body. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, yes.
What this says is the body is an illusion, and I will prove it by undergoing a resurrection and then appearing as a whole body.
Yes.
You have witnessed my apparent death in your own mind.
Right.
Now witness my resurrection. And this is exactly what we're teaching, okay? That this body is actually a resurrected body each moment, isn't it?
Yes.
Huh? That the bodies that you are formulating around you are actually whole and resurrecting everywhere all the time in all of space-time. This is much understood. But I came to tell them that death is an illusion, and the mind that made the body can make another, since form itself is an illusion. They did not understand, but now I talk to you and give you the same message.
Wow.
The death of an illusion, the loss of the world, the disappearance of these shadowy figures means nothing. It disappears when you awaken and decide to dream no more.
Yes.
And you still do have the power to make this decision as I did. And this is what I just read you in the Course in Miracles. That you are dreaming this dream of death and it's not real. And that each moment that it appears to be real, you can transform it totally in the dream. God holds out his hand to his Son. I'm continuing to read. Jesus speaks here about the resurrection. Listen to how lovely this is. God holds out his hand to his Son to help him rise and return to him. I can help because the world is an illusion, and I have overcome the world.
Oh.
Look past the tomb, past the body, past the illusion. Have faith in nothing but the Spirit and the guidance God gives you. He could not have created the body because it is a limit. He must have created the Spirit because it is immortal. Can those who are created like him be limited? The body is the symbol of the world. Leave it behind. It cannot enter heaven. But I can take you there any time that you choose because I am always with you. And together we can watch the world disappear and its symbol vanish as it does so. Its symbol being the body. And then it's hard for me to speak of that. And it says in this little paper, I cannot speak of that, nor do I have a need to speak of that. I cannot speak of that because you have lost your body associations and now are with me where you have always been, in a place that you have never lost. Okay? And you are then whole as God created you. Boy, what a beautiful message from our dear brother and teacher, resurrected man, Jesus Christ. And I hope this is on the tape because I really want you guys to hear what you are being told in your ancient dream of death, so that you individually, in the construction of your own body-mind, as it has been projected from you and has made other bodies still self-contained within your own thought forms, can undergo the resurrection or the transformation of your mind. And this is the message that you can hear, because this is the message that is in your present dream now of death. When will you hear it? Now. When did you hear it? Now. How did you hear it? Through this message from Jesus. Through the declaration of your own mind that this is true. This is a course in miracles, a course in the transformation of your mind from time to eternity. Okay? A beautifully, incredibly conceived thought form time association brought together in a block of unreality to be transformed. The saving of time, the holding together of forms that you would have projected somewhere in your own disillusionment and reassociated, but now are willing, okay, because of the message you are hearing and have directed to your own mind out of time, to stand for a moment and let the grace of God descend on you in this time and in this place. Thank you, dear ones, for joining in this remembering of God and dreaming together this true dream of love, which we shared and share now for a moment, and remembering through the forgiveness, okay, of our brother who we thought was previously attacking us. That we have now become whole and remember God together as the world disappears and we step into eternity. That's very lovely. We hope that you'll join us at God's country place, which that everywhere that you are each moment in your body is the full resurrection going on of your body. If you will allow it to be, by not continuing to bring the old you and projecting the old you forward into some sort of unreal time association. We're together at the end of time, and this dream is over. Okay? And all of the pain and suffering that you have undergone have now become needless to you. And you see that there's no need for you to lose the things that you love. And there's no need for you to get cancer. And there's no need for you to get old. And in fact, you can't get old. Okay? And in fact, the idea of getting old and dying was just a dream of death that you were holding in your own mind. And it's passed away. And we're together in heaven. Wow, what a celebration, huh? The revival of the dead one, the rising up of your spirit of wholeness to the dream of the truth that you are just perfect as God created you, and that nothing ever really happened, and all of all universal mind is only your mind. Okay, as God created it. Perfect in this new vision. Thank you. We'll be seeing you soon. We're going to have a quiet time now. Those of you in all of the universe that would share in this new enlightenment, this contagion of reality that's spreading in the galaxies, can jump into this late dream with us and discover your own beautiful light of God. Wow, what a reunion, huh? What a revelation. Thank you.